It is 8 o'clock and these are the top stories. The ANC is launching its election manifesto at the Moses Mabhida Stadium in Durban today. For what to expect, let's now cross back to our reporter at the venue, Samkele Maseko. A very good morning to you, Samkele. What's the latest? Samkele, a very good morning to you. Tell us what's the latest from Moses Mabhida Stadium.
At this point in time, ANC NEC members are now arriving for the ANC's manifesto launch, and also members and supporters of the governing party are trickling in this manifesto launch of the governing party. What we do know that if you look back in 2009, when they were on the back foot electorally, they came to this province to launch their manifesto. Fast forward yet again this year, they are on the back foot electorally. In 2009 again, when they were on the back foot, they did have a separate manifesto launch and also the ANC's January 8 statement. But it comes at a time when students in the country are also faced with some challenges. So I'm going to bring in ANC NEC member and also the Deputy Minister of Higher Education and Training, Mr. Buti Manamela. Mr. Manamela, just the essence of the ANC's preparedness through government for this year's registration period and the National Student Aid Financial Aid Scheme. You are wanting to attract young people, but how are these young people going to vote for the ANC when they are not getting funding from NSFAS?
Well, I mean, I think the picture in the institutions of higher learning are showing a completely different, or are telling a different story. Firstly, I think for the first time in 2024, we have reached 1 million students that we're going to be funding through the National Student Financial Aid Scheme. We received more than 2 million applications. With the good metric results that we've seen, most of the universities were overwhelmed with the response, and similarly the TVET colleges. Yes, there have been some glitches, but I think that now that most of the institutions are full on rolling, both TVET colleges and universities, we're beginning to pinpoint where there are challenges, and we are dealing with those challenges. And we understand that the main challenge, I think, is placing students in accommodation. Yes, some of the SRCs and university and TVET college administrations in some instances were involved in acts which we believe were proven to be unfair to students by suggesting that institutions are full and all of. But once they've dealt with those things, more and more students were admitted. So I think that despite some of the glitches, we are having a very stable reopening of our universities and TVET colleges. In fact, TVET colleges are now in their 6th week since they've reopened. So we're quite confident with what has happened. And so with also the introduction of the NSFAS loan that's targeting the missing middle, we believe that deals with one of the historic demands that the student movements had placed on the table. What we really want to see is more and more students from that category applying for that loan. But also we want to say to students, because most of the students who have been excluded has been as a result of their academic performance. If you're funded by NSFAS, this is taxpayers' money. Make sure that you pass. Work hard at those things. That's what you hear there for.
Mr. Manamela, on the missing middle, just in short, can you give us what is the criteria of getting those students to get those loans for the missing middle?
Yeah. Look, firstly, it should be from households that earn anything between 350,000 to 600,000. And those students who are going to be prioritized are those who are in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Yes, it will consider others out of those areas, such as in business and all of that. And also that if you pass on record time, you'll only be required to pay 50% of the actual loan. This is an almost interest-free loan, which will only kick in once the student has started working. I think you know how the old NSFAS used to work. So it's for specifically that category of students. It is going to cover, more than, close to 50,000 students. And with time, we're hoping to increase the 3.8 billion rand fund, to be much more bigger and universally cover all students who are deserving, who are studying in our higher education institutions.
Thank you very much, Mr. Buti Manamela. That is ANC NEC member Buti Manamela. But I'm not alone here at the Moses Mabhida Stadium. I am with my other colleagues in Ntlantla Kgatlane and also Vusi Khumalo. As I hand over to you, Ntlantla Kgatlane.
Point at the Moses Mabhida Stadium to the other side of Moses Mabhida Stadium, where my colleague Ntlantla Kgatlane is standing by. Very good morning to you, Ntlantla. Thank you so much for joining us. What's the latest? All right, because of the immense sound and the noise at the stadium, it's actually drowning our voices. But let's now try to speak to Nonjabulo Mtungwa Makamu, who's outside the stadium. Very good morning to you, Nonjabulo. What can you tell us at this point? What's happening? All right, we seem to have a technical issue, but we'll solve it in just a moment. But for now, let's go for coffee. We'll be back shortly.